What up homeboys, this is me soloing Scarlet Monastery Graveyard and getting 50,000 experience per hour. I am not the person that invented this farm. For transparency, the reason that I got inspired to make this video is because I am leveling my own mage, and even though there is plenty of videos of people doing this, and I couldn't find an actually properly detailed guide of this farm. But this is the fastest leveling method from levels 34 to 39, bar none. It is about as fast as getting boosted. I got boosted at one point. That's gonna be part of a whole video I'm making, like a guide on how to level for free into level 40. There is a way to get boosted for free. It's really funny. And I was getting 50k, and this is 50k on my own, and it is really freaking fun. As far as I know, the farm was invented by Tommy Salami. The pools were very small, and this was not very good XP back then because the technique wasn't refined, but now it got way easier to do. And you can pull pretty much the entire courtyard in one go and then AOE everything down. That's how you get the 50,000 experience per hour. So very well, having that said, what are the things you're gonna need for this farm? First of all, let's talk about requirements. You need level 34, because at level 34 you get Mage armor, and that gives you mana regen that you are gonna need to do this farm. I heard people say you can do it at level 32. I have yet to find any evidence of somebody pulling this off at level 32. I am sure it is possible. It is not worth it. If you don't have mana regen, it's gonna take an eternity to kill these guys. Do not do it. Just get level 34. Do something else. Now, you are going to need as much intellect as humanly possible. Stamina is always a good helper. Stamina is always great for any AOE farm, so Gear of the Eagle is gonna be great. But Spirit is also now extremely important. For a long pull, Spirit is gonna be the thing that gives you the mana you need. So I would say I will get intellect and Spirit and then stamina just for this farm. If you get a bunch of eagle gear, that's fine. Okay, don't worry about it. Just get as much intellect as you humanly can. That's the number one, and then Spirit. Now you are gonna need consumables because these pools are super tight. You are living on the edge of what your mana can do. We are gonna need Mighty Troll's blood potions to regenerate HP across the pool. This will pay off 70-fold. Trust me, this pool is long. We're gonna take Spirit. The scroll of Spirit is like worthless. It's like 2 silver on the auction house. 11 Spirit will give you more mana. Then we're gonna take the scroll of protection. There is an elixir of armor, but that's expensive. This is cheap. Okay, scroll of protection, 180 armor, and this one is gonna destroy you because you are gonna need 2 greater mana potions per pool. Yes, some pools you get lucky, you played super well and you only need 1, and of course the more you level, the less you need mana potions, but you're gonna need at least 2 per pool at the start, and these are expensive. These are like 30 silver in my server, and that's gonna hurt your soul because the silver you get from the mobs is about 30 silver. And this is why I recommend you guys that you get 120 herbalism before you do this farm, because leveling to 120 herbalism will make you like 30 gold in swift teasels that you can sell on the auction house. That's gonna be your starting up money, and you can get grave moss from this farm. Grave moss is about 80 silver each, and you can get on average 2 grave mosses per plant, and there is usually 2 plants, so that's like what, 3 gold and 20 silver per run that you get on herbs. That's gonna be the difference between making decent gold and losing gold. Honestly, if you do not have herbalism, this farm is maybe not even worth it unless you already got plenty of money. But oh my god, why am I getting destroyed here? I was trying to reset the mobs. There is also a chest down there. That's why I'm trying to get to that chest. But yes, you are going to need 2 greater mana potions. They are expensive, but you need to have them. And also, you are going to need minor speed on your boots. This is not an expensive enchant. It is like 10 gold, including like a 2 gold tip for the enchanter. You gotta tip the enchanter, right? But this is super cheap, and it's gonna give you like 5% movement speed. That's gonna be what allows you to outrun the mobs. Yes, I know, you can do this pool without 5% movement speed. It sucks. It is not worth it. Spend the 10 gold. Borrow the money if you have to. I don't care. Get that boot enchant. Just buy a decent pair of boots, so you're not gonna replace it in a while, and enchant it. That's what you gotta do. And let me tell you, wiping on this place is expensive. That's gonna cost you. It costed me like a decent 5 hours of dying until I figured this out. And I will show you exactly why I struggled. I couldn't find any good guides on this sort of little steps along the way that kept getting me killed. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back into the start. At the very start of the pool, we're gonna ship this guy, the first mob in the dungeon. We're gonna ship him. We're gonna have mana shield on us. We're gonna have ice armor and arcane intellect. We are gonna use mage armor later. If we have ice armor, anybody that hits us is gonna get slowed, and that's gonna help us pull all the mobs. And of course you get free armor, which is also good. So we start with ice armor and then we change into mage armor. Very important. Okay, right here, this pool gets people killed all the time. On the first room, we're gonna jump across the barrels once, then we're gonna jump again, and mid-air we're gonna nova. When you are in the air, your Frost Nova is gonna get more range because of the leeway or the hitbox or something, I don't know, but you get a longer Nova when you jump. So we're gonna jump twice in the second jump, mid-air we're gonna Nova. Now we're gonna blink in this diagonal direction. We're gonna avoid that one mob doing that. And we're gonna be pretty far ahead from the mobs, okay? Now we gotta run into this safe spot. This is another way people die. You can climb on top of these fences, but you cannot do it from ground level. You see how there's a little lip below the fence, like the stone flooring here is a little higher than the grass. You gotta be on top of that stone floor before you jump. So I get on top of the stone floor and then I can jump on top. Very well, we're gonna run all the way across here. Now luckily I didn't have to use any mana or HP. Sometimes you get unlucky, you get dazed or something, you make it with little HP. But if you get in this very corner, you can spam the drink button. You should have a macro that does drinking and eating on a single button, and you spam the button here. At one point the mobs are gonna reset for a split second and you're gonna be able to drink. We gotta wait here until the scarlet mobs on the back they reset. So that's just me waiting here. We're gonna put our mana shield back on, and now we are gonna move out. Now as long as I am on top of these fences, the mobs cannot get to me. But if I jump from one fence to the other for like a small second or something, the mobs are gonna be able to get to me. And that's important because if you're in a safe spot for too long in a dungeon, eventually the mobs are gonna reset. So you want to be moving into the normal ground, into a safe spot. You never want to be on a single safe spot for too long, basically. So every time I jump here, I reset that timer so I can keep going into another safe spot, and I'm gonna get on top of this fence. Now you don't really have to do this, but this makes the pool a little safer. I am gonna get on top of this grave, and that's gonna make my safe spot a little longer, and I gotta run all the way across the street into the other fence, and we're gonna do the exact same thing. I get right on top of this fence right there, and now I'm gonna pull everything. If I am missing one mob, I just wand it, like those guys. There you go. And now we're gonna run across against this wall. Very important detail. You want to be at an angle with the wall, you know, like slightly hitting that wall, and you want to be spamming jump. If you're rubbing up against that wall really hard, the mobs are gonna get like a brain fart and they are gonna slow down for a minute. They're gonna stop like, oh, where did he go? Oh, and they are gonna not chase you for like a second, and that's how you get a lead on the other guys. That's how you get ahead of the mobs. So now we're gonna climb all the way here. We're gonna pull this guy on the left, hopefully. Okay, I forgot that guy. Doesn't matter, we're gonna go here again. And once again, I am gonna rub myself against this wall, like so. And you can see it here, right? Like, they stop for like a second and then they move again. It's weird. We're gonna blink in this angle. Okay, what are we doing here? We force the mobs into a corner and then we blink. And that means the mobs that are behind the pack, they are gonna be at a similar distance to me on the other side than the mobs at the front. So that's gonna naturally stack them a little. The more you run in circles, the more you stack the mobs, basically. And that's what we're gonna do, another loop in a circle. The reason you had to loop this twice is because of these mobs in here. These guys, you gotta pull them before you start or they kill you. So we're gonna blink across them, they are gonna pull obviously, and we're gonna just do another loop the loop. Pretty simple. This is a great opportunity to pick up any mob you missed, and my pulls are not the biggest yet. I am not that confident. I am only level 34 in this clip, now I am 35 and something. I did it a couple more times, so I keep perfecting the pool and picking up more mobs. But yes, we're just gonna run around and wand whatever mob we can find, like these guys probably. No, I guess I picked them up later. But oh well, we do the same route, we just loop around again, and the mobs are gonna be stacked a lot better. Remember, they cannot hit me when I'm in there, they just stop, so I can just move freely and pull everything, like so. There we go. And once again, I'm gonna rub myself against this wall. Very important, you gotta rub yourself against the wall. And now here is a part that you don't really have to do, but it makes it a lot better, you get a lot more time ahead. We're gonna jump across this thing, because sometimes if you are like not the cleanest in your pool phase, mobs get ahead of you and they can can hit you, but if you jump here, you gain like a half a second lead on them again. Yeah, apparently I forgot to pull this guy before. It doesn't matter, I still got my mana shield, and I pulled Mage Armor. I swapped to Mage Armor before here because this second loop is gonna be the kill phase. I get into this corner once again to do another blink. Hopefully that's gonna stack the mobs pretty well, and now I am gonna drop my Blizzard. Now this is so stressful, I am getting stressed out without even playing anymore. This is a video, a VOD. You got very little time to drop a Blizzard right on the corner where the veranda, how do you call this? The fence ends. You gotta drop this, and it's all rank 1 blizzards. Why rank 1 blizzards? Rank 1 blizzards are less mana efficient, yes, but they take less mana and you can keep the mob slowed for longer with less mana, and that means you can regenerate the mana with Mage Armor, and that's why Spirit is so important on this farm. But very well, we drop the Blizzard right on the corner, so the mobs gotta move a little, you know, they got torn and stuff, so they get hit by the Blizzard for longer, and that's gonna stack them pretty good. Okay, and now comes the number 1 killer of runs. I want you to pay attention to this, and this might vary if you're playing a different race. Gnomes are having a bit of a trouble, they gotta do a different jump, where they just hit against this side like so, and they clip midway and then they jump again. Every other race can do something very simple. Okay, so I am going to aim myself slightly to this side, like so, and I am gonna start spamming jump really hard. You gotta destroy that space key, you gotta spam it super hard, you gotta spam jumping really fast. And I am holding right click of course, and I am gonna just aim myself a little to the right, and I am slowly gonna be turning myself in this direction to the side of the graveyard, you know, as if I were to face the mobs on this side. And yes, you have to be against the corner first, but eventually when you keep spinning, you're gonna eventually hit the right angle and it's gonna let you climb over. Like so. Sometimes you get lucky and you jump instantly, sometimes you get unlucky and you gotta do it like quite a few times. It is very stressful, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And we're gonna drop a Blizzard in the exact same spot from the other side. There we go. I don't know why there is so many compression artifacts in this thing. And we're gonna jump. Right there I got hit by an illusionary phantasm. Now that was a bad reaction on my part. You see, these guys, the illusionary phantasms, they summon from this black ghost the haunting phantasm. They just keep summoning them and summoning them and summoning them. But they die in one hit. However, they do not take any damage from Blizzard. You gotta hit them with whatever, like your wand, your fire blast. What I like to do, I got rank 1 arcane explosion. That will kill him. Like a single arcane explosion will kill them. Because these haunting phantasm guys, they are like slightly faster than the other mobs, so they sometimes run across your Blizzard and they do not get slowed. They are really annoying, but that's not a problem. Now, one thing we're gonna be looking at the second jump down here, we wanna burn our mana potion first, because this pull is gonna take more than 2 minutes and we need to use 2 potions. So we gotta get that mana potion on cooldown as soon as possible. I do not know why I took so long. I am probably gonna pop it now. As you can see, the mobs are still not perfectly stacked. It takes a couple loops around until you do. Yeah, man, it took me a long time to pop that mana potion. I wonder what I was thinking. You should be popping it as soon as you can get like 700 mana. As soon as you need like 700 mana, you pop it. There you go, I popped it, putting it on cooldown, and you need your mana jade, by the way. Do not forget to make your mana jade. You are also gonna need it. It's basically like another Blizzard worth of mana. Here come the illusionary phantasms. You see I do arcane explosion, they go away, and I keep going at it. Now from here, it is all about execution. You mess up a single jump, like here, you see how I get trapped? So stressful, but you gotta get that jump right every single time. If a single mob is hitting you, you ignore it and you keep blizzarding, okay? The control of the mobs is what keeps you alive. If you stop blizzarding, you die. Now I got plenty of mana, you can see the mobs are starting to die. There are some mobs coming in, doesn't matter, I just jump along. I am feeling pretty good right now because I got plenty of mana. I still got my mana stone, I can pop it at any minute. And I am targeting the anguished dead mobs because those are the ones with the most HP, the zombie guys. They are gonna be the last ones to die in every pool. So the small HP mobs are already dead and I just gotta loop around every time and just keep dropping blizzards. And you can see 25 seconds on my mana potion. My mana potion is already coming back up. If you get 2 mana potions, you're pretty much set. Now you could pop evocation early, but that's a problem because the longer you go at this, the longer you keep doing this, the more the mobs stack, and the more the mobs stack, the safer it is to evocate because it takes you like, what is it, like 4 seconds to get 2 ticks of evocate? That is a long time. And if you don't have the mobs perfectly stacked, you are not gonna get those 4 seconds that you need. I pop my mana potion right again, as you can see. As soon as it came up, no hesitation, don't be a cheapskate, you're gonna die. And from here on out, I just gotta wait for the mobs to get really low. Okay, right here, I am running low on mana, I got no mana stone and no potion, so I'm gonna jump up here while the mobs are still slowed, and I am gonna evocate immediately. Don't get greedy, get 2 ticks and jump down. I only got 1 actually, it's fine, that's plenty of mana to kill them now. The important one is that you kill the Haunting Phantasm, because if you kill the Haunting Phantasms, they cannot keep spawning mobs, so you can go there and nova them or something, and all the Illusionary Phantasms will die and they are never coming back. After that, the pool is very easy. The Haunting Phantasms are the hardest mob to deal with in this run, and there we go. Now I still got some zombie guys up there, that's fine. I am just gonna nova them and kill all the Illusionary Phantasms and deal with the Anguish Dead on my own. There we go. So I'm gonna try to get another Blizzard, and then I am just gonna nova them again when it comes out of cooldown, and I am gonna kite them with Cone of Cold. If you are like level 35, or if you got more gear than I do, or if you're not a cheapskate, because right now I am cheaping out on a mana potion, I could go for a 3rd mana potion and kill them. I am cheap, that's 30 freaking silver right there, and I am broke. I am just gonna kite them with Cone of Cold, because there's so few of them, it is very easy to do. There is none of these fast mobs, I can easily kite them on foot. Okay, I did pop a 3rd mana potion. Bonkers. I am going broke today, boy. Okay, you see those last 2, I am out of mana, I'm just gonna nova them, wait, bandage, whatever, and I am just gonna kite them with Cone of Cold. Once again, if you have enough gear, that will not be a problem, but at level 34 is really tight. So long story short, I kite them with Cone of Cold in a circle and they die. There you go. So that's the end of the pool, 50k experience per hour, and once again, it could be a lot faster with cleaner execution. Doesn't matter, it's still really good. You're gonna loot everything, and now you gotta look for 3 things. You got your grave mosses, you got your King's Bloods. There are 2 types of plants in this place that you can get. Grave Moss is level 120 herbalism, and you can level yourself up doing this until you can get King's Blood, which I think is 140, wasn't it? King's Blood is something like that. The other plant, you need 140 herbalism or something like that. It's fine. We're just gonna pick up all the grave mosses that we can get here, and that is very important because grave moss is the thing that makes this farm profitable, even decent. If you do not have herbalism, this farm will absolutely cost you money. This is something I was showing off because I am recommending you guys try it. If you are having trouble with this run, go do a Scarlet Graveyard run normally with no people, with a group, I mean with a normal group, and just clear it normally, get it empty, and get in this ledge and practice the jump. The one thing that kills everybody here, the one thing that took me 5 freaking hours to figure out because I couldn't find any good information on this, is this stupid corner. Okay, I'm gonna get a little more technical. There is a little lip under this corner, and you can see another lip in here. This one doesn't do anything. You cannot get on top of this, so you gotta be on top of this lip on this side, and then you can jump. That's why I tell you to get against the corner right here. If you're against this corner, you're gonna climb up on this lip, and that way you got enough height to clear this jump. And I get here, I angle myself right like this, and then I just keep spamming jump, and I slowly turn like this. Eventually, I make it through. It's that simple. There are some other ways to do it. This is by far the easiest way to do it. There is no shame in turning yourself around and doing it front face against the corner. I am doing it strafing because it's a little faster, but you don't need to. If you feel safer doing it facing the corner, do that. Do not mess up the jump. That's the number one thing you need to master to do this fast. You mess up the jump once, you die, and you can get stuck in there. It is terrifying. But very well, I just go around, I pick up my grave moss. Some mobs I missed, I could have pulled before I didn't, and doesn't matter, no problem. You just nova them and pick all the herbs anyway. They don't have any ranged mobs in here, so you can do that. Now I am gonna get to this safe spot right here. I'm gonna reset these guys, because you gotta be out of combat, so you can pick up this chest. There is a chest that spawns in this side, and there is a chest that can spawn on the other side. So you also wanna check for those. Sometimes they are locked, sometimes they are open, but they are like they are like always a green item, and sometimes you get mana potions, HP potions. You gotta pick it up. It's free money. So I wait, they reset, I pick up the chest, I get a crappy green or something, There is another grave moss on top of this grave. You can actually do it without pulling the mob, even if it is a rare, okay? You're just gonna edge against this pillar very slightly. Eventually, there you go. I got in range. It is barely auto aggro range at level 34. If you're level 35 or so, they are never gonna pull. It is easy mode after that. And there you go. That's the full run. Getting out is very easy because it's just the same thing you did but backwards. We're gonna blink across this corner and then we're gonna Nova all the mobs. We're gonna jump twice, don't forget the double jump, and there you go. And you just run out. Overall, the run was 16 minutes. And you gotta keep in mind, a really good chunk of those 16 minutes was me just looking for things to mine and to herb and to gather from the chest. If you are not herbalism, if you're just doing it for raw XP, you can easily clock to like 60k experience per hour after you hit level 35. Also keep in mind this looping around, that was a huge waste of time, that if I had more intellect this wouldn't happen, or if I executed a little cleaner. You can see right here a run I did a little later where I already got a little better at it and I got it a lot cleaner. I did not have to do any of the kiting. The mobs just died with the mana I had. I didn't need to do the cone of cold shenanigans, they just died. And there you go, I level. When you level in this farm is awesome because you get mana to do this again. So if you get a level up in the pool, you are done, you are set. A full mana bar, this is easy mode. So yeah, the mobs just die and in 12 minutes I am out of there. So that's a 4-minute time save that you can have if you get mana. That's pretty huge. So you can see I come out averaging like 50k in this run. I am working on a bigger guide on how to get a level 40 mage ult ready to go, so you can farm Solfarak for gold and eventually hit 60 and do something else, right? But I need gold, I am a warrior and the orbs are dropping in price, I need a gold farming ult, and I figured this is the fastest way to do it. Next episode before the full guide is probably going to be Solfarak itself at level 40. You can do this farm all the way to level 39. We are gonna have to figure out something to do in the level in between 39 and 40. That shouldn't be a problem. And subscribe, join the Discord, and thank you for watching.